Hello, hello.
Hi. Hi, is this Justin John? Hi.
Hi, hi.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Apologize, like we didn't put the webinar. I know that you asked on Facebook, the Facebook private group. We are keeping the same Zoom link for the last 2 weeks. So I thought we would know, but I think I posted, so you're able to
Yeah,
join.
yeah, I saw it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Can you kind of introduce yourself and like, have you downloaded the product from Appsumo, or like, can you kind of describe your state right now, just so we
I
understand?
must, I must admit, I only purchased it. I
I'm
haven't,
sorry.
I must admit, I only bought it on Appsumo, but
Oh, okay.
I have not used it as yet.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
but I mean,
What?
I am excited
Okay.
to use
Excellent.
it. Because the last time I tried to do something was with add you need, and well, that apparently that didn't work out.
Oh, okay.
So this is, and I'm glad that you guys have you also have the agency mode, which is good to help, to help like in terms of like clients and so forth,
Okay.
getting them up to speed with their ad spend and so forth.
Okay.
So I mean, it's all about the tool seems all about just making everyone's lives easier, right? And I appreciate that. So
Absolutely. See, our goal is to make the life of small agencies and solopreneurs pretty easy. And see, these days it's very hard to think of advertising only in one network like Google or Facebook. You have to do it across because things are changing and dynamic. And for you to do in Google and Facebook respectively, and other channels, right, other networks, there are like several of them. It's very hard. The whole idea of our platform is to kind of keep it all in one place, like unify it. And by unification, we're able to not only save your time, but also like we are able to leverage a lot of the machine learning and other algorithms, like AI based algorithms, in order to help you get more customers and leads, and save you cost and money, and time actually. So these are so at a very,
yes,
very high level, this is what we are
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
do. One more thing, what if I may ask, like what tier did you get? Like what tier license did you get?
I got tier one, but I am going to go all the way to the max.
Okay, that's great to
But
hear.
I only got tier one for now, but I'm going all the way to the max.
Okay,
So
yeah, that's great. That's great. And
yeah.
if I may ask, which region are you from, sir?
I'm from the Caribbean.
From the Caribbean. Oh, okay, cool. So you're not
Yeah,
that far from where we are. Okay, that's excellent.
yeah. Where you guys at?
I'm in Seattle, which is the northwestern part of the U.S.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, we just below.
yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, like a lot of these social media sites, it looks on the front end, it's very easy to use.
right.
But when you go into the admin side of these websites, that's where you see how dark and complex and mysterious you realize you want, because I used to do like I'm done it in a while, but I did a lot of ad spend with Facebook and Google.
Mm-hmm.
And the tool used to be so cookie, and I mean it was just buttons all over trying to figure things out. It was just crazy. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So we actually recognized these are like real pain points that we recognized, and that's one of the reasons we created the product, because we want to keep simplicity in mind as we designed it. And
yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that you bought the license, and we are happy to help you. Like what I can do is, um, I've already done this sort of high level training, but I'll do it again because I think it'll be useful for you, I believe.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let me
that's a
go.
walkthrough. Yeah, I plan to use it within 2 weeks' time. What happens is that I just finished off one project. It's taken a bit longer than I thought.
Okay.
But as soon as I finish the project, I plan to promote it using and I with the ad spend and so forth with using Crigloo, you know, so that's
Okay.
the idea.
Very nice to hear. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
1 second. Let me close my screens, and I'm going to share my screen in a second.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question. You ever heard about the program called Leadsley?
Well, so let me explain. So Leadsy is, sending. So let me do one thing. Let me log in. I'll explain to you a little bit more, and then we can come into the Leadsy part in a bit. Absolutely. I think it's a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take you through the tool a little bit, and then come to the Leadsy part. See, for you, I imagine you're an agency, correct? Is that a fair statement?
Well, yeah, yes. I don't. Yes, yes. You consider that. Yeah, but I haven't provided like ad campaign services, like, but other type of services. Yes. Mhm.
Okay, no problem. So you are going to become an agency, but you're not one right now. Okay, that's
No,
good.
no. I am an agency, but I
Okay.
don't offer the ad campaign services. So
Okay,
I
got you.
offer like IT consultancy, mobile apps, different things like that, but not ad campaign services as yet. Yeah.
Okay, good. And maybe this is the catalyst. Crigloo is a catalyst for you to be able to use this. So that's very
Yeah,
nice to
yeah.
hear, because you are doing other aspects of agency.
Mm-hmm.
So when you log into our system, right? Let me just share my screen right now. So when you log into our system, when did you sign in? Like, did you sign in to Appsumo like last couple of days, or was it a little bit more? Can you share?
No. I must admit, I just bought it. I'm signing as yet. Yeah,
Okay,
I just
excellent.
bought it.
Okay,
Yeah.
no
So when I'm
worries.
ready, it's just to be but I'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just trying to just get it done. So.
Okay, cool. That's very nice to hear. So we have
Mhm.
introduced a 3-step process that's not shown here.
Right.
We have introduced a 3-step process, which is, I'll explain to you, very simple. First step is you need to have a Google or Facebook or Snapchat. Like, these are the
Right.
main ones. I think Instagram is already rolled under Facebook.
Yes.
So you have to have at least one of these accounts. Okay, the Google, like if you have a Gmail, that will be fine.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah. I have all those things. Yeah, and
you
I
have
did
all
it in
those
the
things.
past. Yes.
Right, and then the second piece is you would need to have something called an ad account. Okay, and if you have a Facebook account or a Google ad Gmail, it's very easy to set up a Google ad account or a Facebook ad account. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if you set up a Google ad account, that's the second step. So the first step is Google account or a Facebook account. The second step is an ad account, meaning
Okay.
basically you're authorized to run ads on Google and Facebook. That's what the ad account is.
Okay.
The
Understood.
third step is something called Google Tag Manager. It sounds like a lot, but let me kind of unpeel it a little bit and unpack it and explain it to you. So if you want to, like, for example, when you're sending an ad, right, people see it on a newspaper or they see it somewhere on the web, right? Online newspaper, that's what I mean. Now, that customer, a lot of them may not click. Most of them may not click. Maybe only a small fraction of them are going to click. And a small fraction of them are probably going to come into your website and immediately leave, because they may not, they may not get what they want, and then they might leave. That's called a bounce. And then, so a smaller fraction is going to stay on your website and look at it, right? They're going to say, look, hey, I like what Justin's offering. Let me look at it and understand what Justin is actually doing. So that is called engagement in marketing parlance, as you know, right? Once they engage with your platform, since you're an agency, you might have a white paper or case studies, stuff like that. So you can literally say, you know what, I want to keep tabs on how many people downloaded my case studies or use cases, etc. And you can track them. And in order to track what's going on your website, you need to have this Google Tag Manager. That's all it is. Essentially, it's a way to understand the visitor and what they are doing. It's like, think of it as a simple camera that you're putting into your website. That's all it is. So if you're in a house, if you want to know like who is coming in outside, what do? We put a camera, and this is a programmatic camera, like software camera. That's all this is. And this camera will tell you, okay, this person went here and clicked this button, they click this hyperlink. You can do all of that stuff. And they are called events. And if you put in a way to track the events in our system, then it'll track those events. You'll say, you know what, I want this corner of the room to be tracked because that's where the thief can come in. I'm just kidding you, but that's what you know what I'm trying to say, right? Because it'll basically track every part. So for example, this page that I'm looking at, right? Hey, if you say, hey, create new on campaigns, create new on audience, view insights. I want to track a couple of them. Let's say I want to track campaign, create new, and then I want to track open. So you can do that. All of that stuff can be done using this concept of Google Tag Manager. And it's not just Google. So when we say Google Tag Manager, we've got 2 or 3 items embedded in it, right? We've got Google Tag Manager, we've got Facebook Tag Manager, and we've also got Crigloo's own Tag Manager. So we've all 3 are housed under, so you don't have to do anything. If you take the piece of code that we provide in the 3rd step, when you first get into your HTML page, do you have a web developer? I take it, or if you're a web developer, then you would know it yourself.
I know it myself. I just need to check some of my landing page because some of them I may use instead of going directly to my website. I may use a landing page. But I should have those. Let me just go and check my my landing page. But I do have I do have access to put in
so that's very good. So if you already got so if you are a web developer, then it should be very easy for you. All you have to do is embed this piece of code in between the head block. So for example, like every page, if I look at this page source, you'll see something called the head. You just drop it right under the top head. That's all it is. And if you drop that code that we provide, there's 2 pieces of code we provide. You just copy both and put it in this setting, like right below head. And then you just save it. Then every time customers come into your website, everything will be tracked. So that's the 3rd step. If you do all these 3 steps, you're ready to rock and roll because everything is set up. When you come in, we would have already created something called a brand. If you're not familiar with the brand, or think of it as a very simple way to store information, right? If you have, let's say, 10 clients, you can just store it under 10 brands. That's all. So if you have 20 clients, you store it under 20 brands. So when you go to your client number 10, you open up brand 10 and show them how their campaign is doing. That's all. It's as simple as that. We have created this brand. Most companies that you may have seen don't have this brand, and this is specifically created so agencies and other companies can use it. That's the whole idea. For a small company with just one brand, it may not be material, but for agencies that have multiple clients, this is super useful. So this is at a very, very macro level, right? So just to recap, the first 3 steps get you on to signups, Google ad account, Facebook ad account, and then the last step is your Google Tag Manager. Once you do those 3 things, we would automatically set up your first brand that happens on the back end. You don't have to worry about it. Then you come into the screen, which is what we call the 6-pack. And in the 6-pack, you've got obviously 6 different buttons. You might be wondering, where do I start? Very simple way for us to think about it is a campaign is something that requires multiple inputs. Like basically, broadly speaking, 3 broad inputs, right? First, you need to know, hey, how much, or rather, who is my target market or target audience? Like, who should I go after? So let's say you're an agency. Should I go after large companies or should I go after small companies? Should I go after somebody else? So that's what this target is. Then the next piece, which is right here, is your gallery. Gallery, as the name suggests, is a collection where your ads are stored, right? If you have different formats of ads, it's all stored under gallery. So once you complete these 2 steps.
One question.
Yeah,
you talk about the brands, right? Could I have more than one brand in a workspace? So, because let's say I have a client with more than one brand. How is that separated for that? So so
you can open 2 brands essentially. That's all it is.
Huh?
You can just open 2 brands.
Right, 2 brands, but but the client won't have to, it will be under one workspace area. They will see the two brands, right?
Well, I mean, we could do it like that, but right now the way the system is set up is brand A will be separate, brand B will be separate, but the clients will have access to both. That's
right. That's what I wanted to know. So they will, so basically they will have a setting where I can control who has access to which brands.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So when they log in, they will just see the brands under their portfolio.
Yeah. That part of it, the access to brands is getting developed. We have the concept, brand, everything. But you remember you said, hey, I give access to brand A and brand B. That part of it, that small last segment is not complete. We are doing that as we speak. That's the leadsy piece. That's the leadsy piece we talked about. So we'll come to that. I'll show you. We have all of the elements of the structure, but we have one what I call the missing link. We are completing the missing link, which is, hey, I want brand A and brand B to be given access to these individuals. Brand C, no, I don't want them to give. So that kind of separation is not complete, but we should be able to complete it shortly. But we have all the steps. You'll be able to get access to that. So that is a great question. So given the stuff, so if you have target audience and gallery, then you can start running a campaign with our system. So let me show you a couple of them. So in terms of target audience, right? This, as I explained, is who you want to go after. So every screen starts with this setup, which is what's your brand? And every time we have an audience, we give a name. Okay, that's just the way we keep stuff. So if you want to recycle your audience, you're free to do so. Or if you can, if you say, what, I ran a campaign a couple of months ago, I want to copy that campaign and modify it, you can do that too. So this is a way to quickly recycle your old audience. And that's why we have this audience name. Same thing with brand. Then underneath the brand, we have concept called persona. If you're familiar with it, I won't explain a whole lot, but just for the audience who might be listening, because I'm recording this, there is persona. I can think of it as an avatar, like that represents a type of individual. Let's say somebody is a sports nut, somebody is into music, somebody is into something else, so, or fashion, modeling, etc. So depending on what their interests are, what their personality is, they fall under one bucket. So if you're a marketer, as you know, you want to target individual people with different messages, and this kind of concept of avatar allows you to do that. And this kind of persona concept will allow you to what we call hyper target, much more than what you can do in the native platform. So just to show you this, what's under the hood. So if you look at persona, you can, or rather audience, I would say, broadly speaking, you can, if you don't know who your audience is, let's say for a particular client that you're working with, typically what you can do is you can start with fresh prospect. So basically fresh prospect essentially is saying, hey, I want to prospect the full landscape. I don't know who my audience is. Let me start afresh. That's the top left. The next box is your existing persona. If you already have campaigns run with us, then you can recycle those campaigns, just as I said before. And then the third piece is importing persona. So if you run campaigns in, let's say, Facebook or stuff like that, you can import those personas. And then the final two pieces are retargeting. So let's say you run a campaign as an initial campaign, but the next campaign you want to run, you don't want to repeat the same campaign. What you want to say is, look, I want to retarget people that are engaged with my website in a certain way, and I want to go after only them. So for example, your client is into some business, right? Let's say they're selling stuff online, but they don't want to retarget the entire group. They say, you know what, I want people to, but we want to retarget people that are engaged on my content on the website. Let's say they click certain buttons, stuff like that. I want to retarget only those folks and not everyone. So then you use this retargeting. It's a very powerful tool. It looks kind of like out there in the corner, but it's an extremely powerful tool. So this is to be used only after you run your initial campaign. So you run an initial set of campaigns, then you start retargeting. And
Understood. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, this is cool.
yeah, that's a
Because
very powerful tool. I'll show it to you in a second. And then the final piece is you can also retarget in Facebook, right? And for example, retargeting website, if you want to do, then you got to complete the GTM or the Google Tag Manager steps, which remember I said has got 3 pixels, Facebook pixel, Google pixel, and Crigloo's pixel. So all pixels are rolled into one, and that's how you can retarget the website. So those 3 pieces comprise, or rather these 3 or 4 pieces comprise what we do from a persona point of view. Let me share a couple of screens so you can get a flavor of what we do. So in terms of fresh prospect, so think about it, right? You want to target people, right? What are some broad categories you can think of? Forget this tool, right? What so you would say, hey, you know what? I want to know where this person is, right? This customer. So broadly speaking, that would be geographic, right? The next topic is, as a marketer, hey, what are their interests? What do they like? Do they like sports? Do they like something else? So that we call it as psychographics. That's the next step, right? Which is what we have. Then is demographic, right? What are their ages? Which languages they speak? What is their relationship? All that. It's getting to know the person, like what we call, getting to know the person a little bit more, and that's the third step. And then the final step is, what did they do online? That's called the behavioral. So if you look at, even though it looks like a long form, it's fairly simple. If you think about it, if you take a step back and try to understand what we are saying, it's very simple. First, I want to know is, where does this person reside, and which region of the country do I want to target, or the globe rather, if you're going to target outside Caribbean, right? That's the first step. And then the rest of the step, as I explained, follows. So let's just look at it. I'm going to put Seattle as a placeholder because that's where I live. And you can do the same in the tool. So psychographics would be interests, like you can say.
And this information will inform the Google ads, right? So
yeah, it's not just Google. So just to be clear, right? We have Google. You can see Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Right. So this information will inform those. So I don't have to go and put them in individually. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't have to put them individually. If you say, hey, I want to target all of Seattle, then it'll go across all networks. And of course, there is a place where you have to choose the network. And if you didn't choose, let's say Facebook, Snapchat, you only chose Google, then it'll go to Google. So this is saying you've entered data which will be captured across all networks. But there is a screen in the campaign screen. That's where you choose the network you want to publish it in. Nice. This is saying, what the information is. And in the campaign screen, you'll be able to see that fairly quickly. And then same thing here with interests. You can say, hey, you know what, I want golf. Let's say that is my interest. You just click on it and then golf comes up, right? You can just see the size of your audience, the lower and upper bound, and some more additional information, how we have chosen. And this is pretty interesting for you as a marketer, I imagine. And it'll be useful, super useful. And you can choose whatever you want. You may not want to choose everything because that may not be what you want, right? So you can choose it and then hit the apply button, which is in the bottom of the screen here. I'm not saving this, but that's how you do this. And then same thing with these other parameters, right? So you can just choose them like that. Income, all this stuff. So it's essentially fairly simple drop down. But I would say as a start, my recommendation would be, if you've not done any campaigns, you just start with something simple. Then you increase in complexity. So same thing you do with keywords. Once you complete it with these steps, you basically save this. Right now, I'm going to close this. Would you like to save? I'm just going to say save, yes. So it's going to save. And it's going to come up here, okay? And this is persona. So we have created one persona which is targeting people in Seattle, right? That's all we are doing right now. And you can choose to go and edit, copy, and delete, okay? Those operations are right here. Okay. And once you're complete with this step, you just close it. And then it comes up in the dashboard here as a targeted audience. So we just created Crigloo demo audience 1. We just did that, right? It's not associated with any campaign yet, and that's why it is showing up like empty campaign. But as soon as you put a campaign and attach it, the name will come up here. So campaign. So these are all like prior campaigns that you run, and you can choose to toggle between these two, which is in the top right. So once you're complete with that, you come into audience. The exact same thing, except that we have added something called objective. So when you're running an ad, the ad is contingent on many things, right? One is, what is the format of the ad? Is it a video ad, or is it app ad, or is it something else? So we have many formats, which I'll explain to you in a second. But another important aspect of an ad is also, what is your objective? Because certain objectives don't go with certain ads. For example, Google search ads, if you want to run a Google search ad, it doesn't go with awareness. So the reason Google search ad is not awareness is people already know what they're looking for. That means awareness is not needed, right? So awareness is needed when people don't know anything about the product, they want to understand. And in that case, you create an awareness ad. But if it's a Google search ad, typically it'll be a traffic ad or a lead gen, etc. So those are types of, so different types of ads have different objectives.
Right.
And that's important to realize. And it's super useful. And then you can also put in your landing page. Whatever you put in this screen here will come up in all your ads. So let me show you a couple of ads. It looks like, oh, I've got a lot. So it's simple. Let me kind of decode it for you. So you got existing ad, which means you're already using an ad and you're recycling. You're having an image ad, which is just a single ad you can input. Carousel is, it carouses, like in a website, it carouses, back and forth. That's what that is. Story ad, static image, meaning static means that something is not changing. So that means the sizes are fixed. Then you have video ad, and then the final piece is the responsive ads. So responsive ads are ads that change in size depending on the real estate available. So in newspapers or online magazines or anything you read online, your ads are dynamic, meaning you don't know exactly what sizes you're going to get, and those are going to change based on the responsive ads. And responsive ads are quite powerful because that's where you can do a lot of testing, like your AI-based testing and all that. So that is pretty cool ads.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you a couple of them just to get you going. So you can see, hey, I can store an image, and even in the image, right, you can drop off things, and you can upload it from a creative library, which essentially is a way to store. And this is super useful. So and this is empty because I don't have anything in this particular account. But if you have, think of it as free storage. If you're using Dropbox or any other storage facility online, you can unsubscribe and come to us because you're wasting money. You can just come here and store your images. And we also put in a tab here for supported sizes. It's a pretty big sheet, but if I explain it to you, it'll be super easy. So all it is for each of the ad types, we have provided what the pixel sizes are.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, so you can see what sizes are compatible with what ad. And we also have some more notes on Google, Facebook and Snapchat. So these are notes that we keep fairly updated, but sometimes things change. These guys do change, and so we do update it fairly periodically.
Understood. And this is on both images and videos too as well, or just images?
Good question. See, right now it's only I think the video part is a good question actually. We have the dimensions.
Oh yeah, seen videos.
Yeah, video is also there. It's not listed in this sheet because video does not have the same kind of format, but it's right here, so you can see all that.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, it'll be useful because that way you don't have to go anywhere. See what we are creating, a one-stop shop, so you don't have to go to any other platform, nothing. And that's what we are doing. And you can also validate, once you put in an image, you can validate it to see if it's going to work. So we validated. All that is done here. Okay,
excellent.
And then once you're complete with this ad, you just close it, and then this ad will come up here. We didn't create anything because I didn't save it, but if you did create, you'll get the gallery right here. The first line would be that. And once you're complete with this, then you can toggle it back. Then you go into campaign. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to show you the campaign in a 1 second. Let me close this out. I'm going to show you this campaign because we have already created something like a pre-prepared campaign. So it's easy for you to, I'll walk you through this. So just as I explained it, every campaign has it's a 4-step process. The first step is you choose your objective. Okay, what do you want to do? And then every screen comes up with this: is you got a brand, you got a campaign. So brand would be, just to recap, is a way to house all your data. It's a workspace for storing data. And if you have more companies that you're servicing, you just open more brands. That's all that is. In terms of campaign name, we auto assign campaigns, but if you want to change it, you can change it to whatever you want. In terms of objectives, broadly speaking, in marketing, you have 3 broad sets of objectives. One is, the company is not known, product is not known, you start with awareness, which is what we call in marketing parlance the top of the funnel, right? You start with the top of the funnel, then you work your way down, just like a physical funnel, is broad at the top and then very narrow at the bottom. It's the exact same thing here. So you start with the top of the funnel, and you can do any of these types of campaigns for funnel, because you can, I can create an awareness by an ad campaign. You can do page engagement. You can also boost the post, okay, which is social media. You can post it right from here. So those are ways in which you can create awareness. In terms of consideration, so now that people know who you are, what your product is, or what your service is, then you can move on to consideration, which is right here, right? You can say, hey, look, I want to look at a traffic campaign, lead gen, video views, app install. So you can do that. And then the conversion is TBD. We are coming up with this fairly soon. And then you can actually run e-commerce. You can do any kind of conversion campaign. So that is in the works. Stay tuned. It'll be done, shortly. So
that is excellent.
Yes. So in one place, we are doing e-commerce, we are doing awareness, you're doing lead gen. So the full funnel. And then we are also doing web analytics. So this is like a full-blown product that the likes of which generally you may not have seen on Appsumo. The next one is your campaign mode, right? So we have 2 modes of running campaigns. So think of it as like you're a pilot in an airplane. You have 2 choices, right? I can put them on autopilot and I can just kick back, relax, or I can say, you know what, I want to control the airplane right now. I want to know the air pressure, the humidity, whatever that the pilots do, right? I can control all of that right here. That's manual. Automatic means you are basically giving us a unified budget. We manage which networks to spend on, where. So basically the way we do that is we look at where you're getting the most bang for your buck. So basically where your return on investment is high, that's where we deploy more of the money. So that way it's intelligently shared rather than just, casting a wide net. So it helps you in terms of optimizing your spend. So you can choose to run it. You can start if you want. You can start off with a small manual campaign with only one network, just as a way to get started. You can do that, and then you can slowly but surely get into more types of campaigns. So in terms of the network, remember I said in the gallery screen, you have you can choose your network in the campaign, and this is where you choose, and you can literally choose many of these, right? So in this case, the search campaign is, the objective is still, a consideration objective, which is traffic. Then you have Google search, Google display, Facebook, and Instagram. So that all of them are here. There's more advanced options. I don't want to get into that in the interest of keeping it high level. Now the scheduling, okay, it's showing up in red because today is the 14th.
Yeah, today is
13th here. So let's just put 15th, okay? So then it turns green. So basically you can start a campaign and say, you know what, I want to run this campaign for a month, roughly speaking, okay? That's kind of reasonable. Then you can set your budgets, right? In this case, we have put a small budget, but you can increase your budgets, right? And since it's a manual campaign, you can just put it. See, the beauty is that if you have to run this in Google, Facebook, social, Instagram, it'll take you quite a bit of time. So in one shot, remember, you can just boom, you can just say what you want, you can set your bid caps. It's super powerful. That's all I would say, because other platforms don't do this. What they have is you have to go to individual silos. They say, you know what, here is your Google. You put everything regarding Google. Here is your Facebook. We don't do that. We said, you know what, let's unify it. So it makes the life of the marketer like super easy. And you can quickly run campaigns. And this sort of setup is very, very rare. You won't find that in most tools that I have seen, and probably you. And this kind of stuff is what allows us to do the optimization, AI, machine learning, all that good stuff. Okay, so now in terms of the audience, right? You've got this concept, like I explained, is personas, which is avatars. You can think of these are interests, whatever you want to call them, right? And this is you choose this. You can modify it, delete it, do all that stuff. Same thing with gallery. So the gallery I had chosen is a 4-step gallery. So this gallery was already created, right? And you can just load it from your. So the whole idea is that recyclability. Think about it this way, right? If you have done something before, you can just recycle it. So that way you're not recreating anything. So you don't have to worry about it. Hey, so it's like, think of it as like a Lego block. If you're, if you have kids, kids will play with Legos, right? So we have created Lego, right? So you have a Lego block called, gallery, boom, you just load it in. Then the next Lego block is, hey, my audience, which is made up of personas, put that in. You take your budgets, which is in the previous step, right? Which I explained to you. And then boom, tell me like when you want to run the campaign, and the tool is ready to go. So it's a very, very simple process, and it'll be super easy for you to use. And since it's a manual process, you can specify, you know what, I want my persona A to be only looking at this particular ad set. So you have fine control over what you want. And this is, remember, you're doing it across many networks. Some of this stuff, if you're not familiar, you ask, we can help you. I don't want to inundate you on day one with everything, but this is sort of at a high level. Once you do these steps, you hit the review button. So review is essentially going to show you in a snapshot, like what you have done. Is all the stuff, pretty good to go? Then it'll show you all that right here.
Okay.
So if you look at it, let me just walk you through this. So it's not really an alert. We are using the word alert. I think we're going to change this name. Alert is not anything bad. It's pretty good. Everything is green. See, all you need to know is if it's green, it's good. We all know that, right? Like traffic light, if it's green, it's good. So every part of your campaign is green. That means you're ready to go. So before you promote the campaign, we give you this stuff. And remember, you're doing it across Google search, Google display, Facebook, Instagram. So all that is good to go. So we check from ad account, we check your ads, the format is right. We check your personas if there's any errors. We check budgets. For example, budgets could be like, there is a minimum budget below which Google or Facebook won't take your campaigns. Right. As well. And then any other errors that we notice, it's bucketed there. So it's a pretty comprehensive look before we send it to the networks, right? It's like, think of it as an early warning system that we provide. Let me show you one thing you might like. So for example, in this case, right, we put in a date. Let me just show you this. If let's say instead of May 13th, right, this kind of mistakes happen. So we put in like May 14th, which is today's date. And typically today's date, it won't take in because you have to start campaign one day after, right? So let's just look at this. Okay, it's fine because it's still today.
Yeah. No, but I understand.
Yeah, it's still today, so it's not a problem. But in some cases where you have some dates incorrect, if you put in like
Yes.
all that stuff, then it'll catch it. Then your campaign so this is another cool thing. So this shows you your channels, your ad sets, and then your persona. So just to remind people, right, ad set is just a collection where ads are stored, right? So that's all it is. And then a persona, and then your ads, impressions, clicks, status. uh, right now it's all in draft mode, but as soon as you float the campaign, everything will be active, and you can play and pause any part of your campaign, right? Think about it. Like if you have multiple
Okay.
ad sets, so if you have like 10 of these, you can say, you know what, I want to stop this guy. So you can literally handle that kind of stuff. Pretty neat, I would imagine, or at least you would, I hope you agree. uh, so that's what we do. And then once you're complete, you just hit the publish button. I'm not hitting it because it's a live account. I don't
Okay.
want to
Okay.
publish this campaign, but that's what you do essentially. And these are the 4 steps that you have to run for running campaigns. I mean,
Mm.
again, very simple. Would you like to save in draft mode? I say no, because
Yeah.
like I'm not making any changes yet. Um,
And the credit card is entered on the, it'll be
that's
entered
in
on
your ad account.
the account. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the ad account contains your credit card, your bank stuff, all that is in ad account. And so you're not sharing any of that with us. So just to
Okay.
remember, right? All that is insulated. The whole idea of connecting with Google through the process that we have laid out is everything is shielded. We don't know where your credit card is. None of that stuff is known to us. All we know is Justin John is a legit user and he has a legit ad account. That's all we know.
Okay.
We don't know exactly what you do, all that stuff with Google. Like in terms of the money spent, we have no control over it. Like in the sense, we are sending the data across to them, but we are not involved in credit card, all that stuff. So that's I just want, because as a startup, you know, you may not be comfortable giving us the credit card, so that's why we made it like this way. That way you're only dealing with larger entities, and they handle the credit card. So that's what we have created right now.
Okay, understood.
So those are the 4 steps, and these are the screens. And then let me take you through one other thing. We have a few more minutes left. In the settings, right, you ask for a brand, right? And you just click on brand, and this is where you create new brands. Some of the stuff that you talked about, like, I want to give brand A, brand B, that we are working on something called an agency screen or agency dashboard, which will have what you need. Okay, which essentially shows, you know what, I've got I'm a brand, I'm an agency with, I don't know, 10 brands. I want agency 1 to have, or rather the campaign guy to have 2 or 3 brand access. We can do all that fine tuning in that agency dashboard. This I'm showing you is just a structure. So here you can create a new brand. You can give brand. So these are your settings essentially, and you can connect to Google, Facebook right here. So all that connection is right here. So you can connect to Google Ads, Facebook. So this is where you connect. So there's 2 ways in which you can connect, just to remember, right? By the first time you connect, we provide the 3-step process that I laid out at the very beginning, but that is for creating 1 brand. But if you have, let's say, 10 brands, then you have to come into this screen, create all that. Okay, and there is an agency screen which we are developing, which will make it super easy for you. That's what we are doing. And there is more stuff. You can have user permissions, all that stuff. There is more things, but this is sort of gives you a lay of the land. And I would recommend that if you can just take a spin, run a small campaign, and then, you know, we are on Facebook, and you're also on Facebook, right? So you can post things and we'll attend to the issues right away. Okay, if you have any issues, you know, ping us on Facebook, then we'll get back to you shortly.
Okay, thanks so much. Some rain falling on my end, so that's why I muted for a bit. But yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate the walkthrough, and I'm excited. I'm very excited to get this up and running. When do you expect to leave Appsumo? I want to upgrade. I'm going to upgrade by the end of this month. So I just
Okay.
want to make sure I don't want to come back and then I realize you guys go on.
Yeah, I think the promotion is going on for a little bit. I would highly urge you to get this soon, because we're giving something like huge deal, like unlimited, like nobody offers such things. Unlimited ads, unlimited brands. It's a once, like it's a very rare deal, because we are going live, and we want to offer something nice to the customer. So please, if you can consider taking it and upgrading it now, that'll be awesome.
Okay, cool. Okay. And one other so like who is behind? I mean, because this is incredible work here. But like who is it? Is it like you guys have a like a team, or how is it?
Great question. So my background, I spent a lot of time in corporate, channel marketing, in media and telecom and tech. And Sri on the call, he's my technology guru, and he has spent a lot of time on developing technologies. He's been in startups, and we have a team of people. Absolutely, we have a team of pretty strong developers, who basically, we have UI team, we have backend database, and we have the front end, our full stack individuals as well. So we have the full crew of people that have put this together. It's a pretty involved and a lot of moving parts. Yeah, that's it. We've got a team of people. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, no problems. Well, I appreciate the time, and I appreciate
Yeah,
I'm
if I
very
can
excited.
lean on you, like Justin, if you want, like I can, if you send me your email on I you have my email, right? You can send it to me, send me an
Okay,
email,
yeah.
and I'm happy to talk to you as well. So like, we are here to help you. So
Okay.
whatever method you choose, we are happy to help you. And if you want to get on a call like just like this, we can do that too, because we want to make sure that you can run your campaigns effectively
Right.
and use the product well. And
Excellent.
that's what we want to do.
Okay. Okay. Sounds great. Sounds great. So yeah, in about I'm looking in about 2 weeks time to start to run some campaigns.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll definitely reach out.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All righty.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Bye.
All right. Okay. You too. Take care. And you too,
Yeah. Bye.
Siri. All right. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Now.
Thank you very much.
Sri.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Maybe we can get on a Google call, right?
Sure. Okay.
Okay.